All right, guys, so you're thinking about purchasing a home, but you're not too sure how much you can actually afford. Now, typically, I would say, hey, just go ahead and contact a lender and just shop your loan, and that lender should be able to help you out based upon the type of loan, how much your down payment is going to be, and from there, they can actually dictate what your monthly payment is going to be. Based upon your monthly payment, then now we'll get your purchasing power. Now, I'm going to make it very simple for you. If you're just kind of like just getting started and just kind of want to see what's out there to see if it actually makes sense to speak to a lender. So today we're going to be talking about how much can I actually afford, right? So there's 5 key factors that we have to take a look at. Number 1, we have to determine your income. Now, when it comes to income, it's not based upon what you net every single month, right? It's actually the gross income that we have to focus on. Number 2, our DTI, right? Debt to income ratio. So what that means is the income that's coming in every single month with all the bills that we have as far as car loans, student loan, credit card bills, right? Doctor bills, we have to factor that in play. And whatever the remaining balance is, then that shows what we can actually afford every single month. But there's more key factors to determine what your purchasing power is going to be. The next thing that we have to take a look at is the type of loan, right? The reason why this is important because we have FHA, we also have like conventional and also VA. Now everything is based upon DTI, which is your debt to income ratio. Some lenders may take you up to 48%. Like conventional, I've seen all the way up to 53%, okay? Another thing we have to take a look at is the current market rate. I'm talking about the interest rate because the higher the interest rate is, it pushes down your purchasing power and your monthly payment is going to be more. Also, another factor is your credit score. The higher the credit score is, the better, right, your monthly payment will be because you have a lower interest rate. So today I'm going to walk you through and I'm going to show you exactly how to figure this thing out. It's very simple. This is something that you guys can do on your own. So the first thing is, let's determine what your gross income is. So let's just pretend your gross income is $120,000. This is what you make annually. The next step is that we have to take this and we have to divide this by 12, and that gives us $10,000 a month. That's right. That's our gross every single month. Now we need to figure out the DTI, which is the debt to income ratio. Now going back to the loans, remember how I told you we have like 48%, then VA has about 53%. Now this all varies too depending on the lender, but typically it's about 48%. So we're going to make this very simple. Now if we take $10,000, right, and 48% of $10,000 will be $4,800 a month on a mortgage that you can actually afford, okay? Not everybody wants to have a $4,800 a monthly payment. Like for me, that's just too high. It just doesn't make any sense, right? But I mean, if you're making like $1 million a year, that's probably nothing. So the next thing that we need to factor in is, let's take a look at our debt. What type of debt do we have? So let's just pretend we have a car loan, okay? What are you paying every single month for your car? Say $800 a month, okay? Credit card bills. What are you paying total? So if you have like 5 different credit cards, but they all add up to $400 a month, we're going to add that in there. What about your student loans? Let's say it's $150 a month, okay? What other debts do you currently have, okay? But we're just going to make this simple here, and we're just going to add this all up. So now your total debt every single month is $1,350. Now this doesn't include like your cell phone bill, right? Your utilities, okay? So just keep that in mind. Also, if you're currently renting, this is not included as well. Food, gas, so don't worry about that. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take $1,350 $350, we're going to minus the $4,800. So let's see what we have here. Okay. So now our total is $3,450 at this time. Now the next step we have to take a look at is, what is our credit score? Hypothetically, let's just say our credit score is at a 750, okay? So we got the top tier credit score, right? Now we take a look at the current market interest rate at this time. So what I want you to do is, if you go to like Zillow, they actually have a mortgage calculator app, because you're going to need this to simplify this. So today's mortgage rates for a 30-year fix, it's at 7%. Wow, 7%. So the first thing that I will do is add 7%, okay, into the interest rate. Then the next thing is, based upon the type of loan that I am doing, okay, let's just say we're going to do conventional, because now conventional is at 48% DTI. Okay, we're going to do conventional because we're going to put down 20%. Okay, then we have to take a look with the mortgage calculator. Okay, the mortgage calculator, when you do this, it's going to include PITI, right? Principal, interest, taxes, and insurance. Because of all this right here, okay, needs to be subtracted. So we know my total amount is $3,450 that I can actually be approved for every single month. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this toggle and I'm going to keep going down until I see my payment hit $3,450. So right now I took this toggle down to $3,411 a month based upon today's interest rate of 7%, 20% down, and this includes principal, interest, taxes, and insurance, okay? Now, the total is $3,411. So my purchasing power right now is $540,000. Now, there's something that in here that we didn't include, right? Is the HOA. Now, if the HOA supersedes $3,450, then we can no longer buy a home at $540,000. So let's just say now we have to calculate the HOA. HOA is $39. 5, 4. Now we're still here. So that means when you're shopping for a home, you need to make sure the HOA is $39 or below. Now these things could actually change because your interest rate is not locked in. So like right now it's at 7%, but let's just say if we're going out, we're shopping for a home, interest rates actually now drop down to 5% hypothetically. Okay. Now we're at 5%. Now this actually drops my payment down to $2,850. So now I can raise my purchase price until it hits $3,450. Now let's see where we're at. So now I can raise my purchase price all the way up to $600,000. Now that gives me a whole nother payment of $3,366. Now this also gives me room to go up with the HOA, or I can even go up a little bit higher on price. So now my purchasing power is $640,000. That's right. I mean, that is a lot of money to be looking for a home. But also you have to ask yourself, are you willing to make a payment of $3,450 with a debt-to-income ratio at 48%? Now, for me, I like to keep it on the safe side. I like to do my DTI roughly about no more than 30%, but it's case-by-case basis because I don't want to be house broke. But the thing about this is that you just have to understand this formula and how the formula works, because you may be working with somebody just telling you that you're only approved for $450,000, and you go out and you start to look at homes, but you realize the property tax is a little bit lower, the HOA is a little bit lower, but then now you could actually be qualified for more money, right? And you can still get that home. That's the reason why it's very important that when you work with a real estate agent, they actually work with the lender and they know your DTI, what those ratios are. Now, guys, there's times where I'm shopping with a buyer and they're only approved for 450, but I'm looking at a property at 460,000, let's just say $10,000 more, 20,000. I'm running the ratios. I'm like, wait, this actually makes sense. We can still buy this home. So this is something that I want you to keep in mind. Now, also, I have created this Mortgage Hacks. This is the book. This breaks everything down here. We simplify it. So if you guys are interested, all you got to do is just go ahead and scan that QR code. And I'm going to give this to you for free. Okay, that's right. It's free. And also, if you guys don't have a real estate agent, we definitely would love the opportunity to earn your business. Now, also, let me know in the comments below if you feel that this information was very valuable. If so, I'm going to do more and more of these type of videos. And let me know what educational videos do you guys want, so that way I can provide you the information that you guys need. Other than that, until next time, I'm Chakits Krulsawat with Simply Vegas. Be blessed.